On deck, we've got Ray Zone. But right now, put your hands together for Earl Woodruff.
How you doing, everybody? How you doing tonight? All right. My name is Earl Woodruff. My friends call me Big Earl, and I am so fat and horny I could have interned for Bill Clinton. You know, there's a lot of things I don't know. I just found out that when people call you a workaholic, I always thought that meant somebody that got drunk while they were at work. Turns out I was wrong. We took my buddy Colby to Pahrump, to the whorehouses, and he didn't know what was going on, and we just let him go on his way. And he goes in there and he tells the lady, he's like, so what do I do? And she goes, well, you got to tell me, I'm a professional. He says, I don't know, this is my first time. She goes, you want a French? You want around the way? Do you want a 69? He said, what was that last one? She said, a 69? He goes, yeah, I'll take one of those. So they go in the room and they get in position. She starts doing her thing, working it like a champ. All of a sudden she gets this bad gas pain and she lets out a tiny little fart. Well, he didn't say anything, so she keeps going. A couple minutes later, another gas pain, another fart. She says, I better check on him. She goes, how you doing, honey? He goes, well, what you were doing down there is wonderful, but to be honest with you, I can't take 67 more of those. The other day I went to the grocery store. They have condoms. For his pleasure, it was empty. My wife and I, we got a divorce, but I still kept buying condoms because I didn't want the lady at the grocery store to know that I'd stopped having sex. Even though I don't think it's any of her business, they are starting to pile up. So either I'm going to have to get on a lucky streak or think of a hell of a good craft project. Hey, and I saw that on the condoms they have an expiration date. So what happens if you use an expired condom? You end up with a rotten kid? As you can tell, I rarely go swimming, only because it's never been a half an hour since I last ate. Like I said, I just went through a divorce, but my wife, she was a real pain in the ass. You know, everybody says, oh, I like my coffee like I like my women, you know, hot and black. Well, I like my coffee like I like my women, ground up and in the freezer. So, like I said, she was a pain in the ass, and I knew it was going south because one time she woke up and she goes, you know, I had the weirdest dream last night. I dreamt that they were auctioning off men's penises. I said, really? She said, yeah. She said, you know, that great big ones were going for $100 and tiny little ones were going for $5. I said, really? Well, what was something like mine going for? She said, oh, they were just giving them away. And I said, well, that's funny, you know, because I had a dream last night, too. I said they were auctioning off women's vaginas. And I said, great big sloppy ones were going for $5, and tight little tiny ones were going for $100. She said, really? What was something like mine going for? I said, that's where they held the fucking auction. The other day, I was in the veterinarian's office with my goldfish, and there was these two ladies there, and they were talking back and forth, and she said, what are you doing here? She goes, oh, it's my cat. My cat scratches up everything, just scratches up everything, and I'm having him declawed. And she said, oh, really? And she goes, yeah. She goes, what are you here for? She goes, oh, it's my German Shepherd. He's about this big. Every time I bend over to pick something up, my German Shepherd jumps up and just starts humping me. She said, oh, so you're having him neutered? She said, no, I'm having him declawed too. This one time, took my grandma to the adult superstore. And she went in and she said, well, I'd like to buy a dildo. And this is true. So the guy that works there, he goes, well, whatever you think would be best for you, we have a selection right here. And she said, well, I'll take that red one. He says, no, ma'am, they're next to the emergency fire extinguisher. I started dating again. I hate dating, especially Las Vegas girls. I'm not gonna say they're loose, but there's this one girl right now, she's probably got more guys shooting into her than an Iraqi bunker. Yeah, yes. So I went out with this one girl, and she was kind of immature, you know, but that's the age I like them, you know. When they hit 21, it's too old for me. So she was a little immature. We go back to her house, and she's got stuffed animals everywhere. She got stuffed animals hanging off of the ceiling. She got stuffed animals on the wall. She got stuffed animals on the floor. So after a rough night of sex, you know, I look over the next morning, I said, so how was it? She said, you could take anything from the bottom row. All right. The other night I went to a bulimic bachelor party. That's right. The cake jumped out of the girl. Thank you, everybody. My name is Earl Woodruff. Have a good night.